In fact, what I'm going to show you today is exactly what I did to get my first client and then kind of scale it out from there, even while I still had my full-time job, and how I kind of like do it without basically killing myself, spending tens of hundreds of hours a week just grinding away on it. So hopefully that kind of brings us into our first question, which is this workshop even worth my time? I actually do have some really cool stuff I want to share with you today. But before we get into that, I want to take a moment and show you some of the results that people have gotten with the exact same training that I'm going to be showing you here today. Over here we have Cody, who says he just had a local dental practice call him and said their current agency that they use has gone stagnant and they're ready to get started with him. And they already have a nice budget and they found him on Google. Now, if you're not familiar with SEO agencies and the different niches, dental is one of the most lucrative ones you can get into. So that's going to be a big client for Cody. And we have James, who signed a 10K per month client after he was only making 10K per month before that. And they want to keep increasing it to 15 and 20 and so on as it grows. So it's just, he got that with the exact same techniques and training we're going to be showing you here today. And then we have Ian over here, who says 3 new clients signed on today. I think it's time to watch the rest of the agency videos. So Ian, like I said, he applied the training that we're going to show today, 3 new clients in one day. And I could seriously keep going on and on and on like this with all the results that we've gotten from this exact same training. But what I really want to share with you today is how you, yes, you, can start making profits from SEO clients as soon as today, even if you're still working a full-time job or have a limited amount of clients as it is right now. I'm going to show you the exact techniques that I showed these folks and that I've been using myself in my business. You know, all these testimonials, all these people you see in front of you right now, they're from all different places in the world. They're different genders, different races. I mean, if you look, Spencer, he didn't even speak the language and he was getting signed clients. So the reason I bring that up is because there's no reason that you can't get these same results if you just follow what we're going to talk about here today. I'm going to show you exactly how you can sign your first client or get your current clients to send you more business so you can work less hours and make more money. Now, who is this for? If you already have some SEO clients, but you're not to the point that your agency's not to the point that you want it to be, and you want to get up to 6 figures plus per month, this is for you. If you want to scale higher without having to work 18, 20 hours a day, doing nothing but selling or doing the fulfillment yourself, then this is for you. If you're a digital agency and you want to add a new income stream and a 7-figure skill to your business, perhaps you're like a social media marketing agency or you do Facebook ads or something like that, then this is for you too. What I'm going to show you here today is super simple. You do it once and it just snowballs kind of on its own. So if any of those are you, then this is for you. So what we're going to be talking about today in the next 45 minutes or so on this call is exactly how you can scale your SEO client consulting agency to 6 figures a month or more. Even if you have a full-time job, you're still working your day job and things like that. How you can consistently sign multiple new SEO clients every single month, and how you can do it without having to spend 18 hours a day cold calling, pounding the flesh, doing all those things to get people in. I'm going to show you the exact system I use to turn my clients into my personal sales force and outsource the SEO so you don't have to worry about fulfilling it either. So basically all you have to do is sign your first couple of clients and let things snowball from there. How to go from having 1 or 2 or maybe even no high maintenance, low paying clients telling you how to do your job and what to do, to picking the people that you want to work with and having them help you grow your business just like you help them grow theirs. Or more simply put, what I'm going to show you is how to make money in this crazy profitable client SEO market without having to give up your time freedom. A lot of the reason that we get into doing things like SEO and running an agency and things like that is so that we have the freedom and the resources to do the things we want and live our life the way we want to live it. And a lot of times what happens is people get into this and they end up just trading one boss for many. So instead, what I'm going to show you how to do today, instead of getting a bunch of clients who end up being your boss, is how to get a bunch of clients that are going to turn into your own personal sales force. And we're going to get into the training here in just a second. But before we do, I want to take just a couple moments just to make sure you know who I am. Because if you're going to listen to a training like this, you want to know who it's coming from. My name is Chris M. Walker. I'm a Forbes featured SEO expert and entrepreneur. I founded a 7-figure SEO agency, Superstar SEO. Maybe some of you have heard of it. I own and founded the fastest growing digital services marketplace online and legit. I was a top earning 7-figure freelance SEO. A successful trainer and business consultant. I've been featured on Forbes, Huffington Post, Ahrefs, Serp.com, and a bunch more. And you can see that there at the bottom, there are just some of my businesses. And here's a kind of a glance at them. You have Legit, which is an online marketplace. It's the fastest growing marketplace online right now. We have over 225,000 freelancers on it. We got Superstar SEO, which is my SEO agency, which is kind of what we're going to be talking about today. And then we have my personal brand in Chris M. Walker, where I do consulting and training and teaching and things like that. Again, I show you that not to brag or anything like that. I just want you to know where this is coming from and know that I'm not just pumping myself up or just giving you a bunch of information, that I'm really out there in the trenches building businesses and helping others grow. And just for some further information, here's an article from the Boston Herald that they did on my business Legit after we had our successful first year. We got an article where I was quoted on Forbes, and then I also have one of the biggest SEO groups on Facebook. I think this is actually over 43,000 members in it now. And I've collaborated and worked with some of the biggest names in the marketing industry. You see, that's me there, along with like Alex Becker and Rohan Sheth and all these other guys, Ben Malal, Iman Shafi. Basically, I've been doing this for several years, since 2013, and I know what I'm doing. And again, I don't want to spend a lot of time talking about myself. I just wanted you to get an idea of who this was coming from and what you're listening to today. Like I say, I'm not here just to sing my own praises. I have the testimonials to back it up. Like we showed you before, we got Cody, who signed the big dental client. We got James, who signed a $10,000 per month client. We got Ian, who signed 3 clients in 1 new day, or 3 new clients in 1 day, and all these other testimonials that we just could go on and on and on about, but I'll just show you kind of a quick snapshot of some of them right there. So at this point, you're probably wondering to yourself, that's great, but can I do this? Well, the truth is, you do not have to be a professional salesman. In fact, I'm going to show you how to do this with minimal sales on your own, minimal selling on your own. I'm going to show you how to get the work fulfilled once you get the client signed, so you don't have to be some tech geek, super nerd expert on how to do SEO. I'm going to show you how to sign SEO clients in a very simple way that doesn't require you to give up your whole life. I'm going to show you how you can do this. Anybody can do this, and I have students from all around the world, every age, race, gender, culture, you name it. We have students having success with this method I'm going to show you here today, because it just flat out works as long as you do the upfront work. All right, so I think that's enough build up. Let's go ahead and get into this and start showing you how you can do this yourself. So step 1 to setting up a successful SEO consulting agency is probably the biggest mistake that I see people make when they go into doing an SEO consulting and fulfillment agency, and that is they try to service everybody. They're after lawyers, they're after accountants, they're after doctors, they're after all these different niches. And the problem is they all have different needs and speak different languages and have different concerns. So while you should take, if someone comes to you and they're outside of a particular industry that you're targeting, you should still consider taking them on. You should focus your sales channeling and your outreach and all these things into getting businesses in a specific industry or niche. I tend to use those terms interchangeably. So how do you decide on picking a niche or an industry to target for your SEO agency? There's a few things you want to consider, and these are some of them. You want to find out if they have a high average sale or a customer value, meaning if it's something like, let's say, a restaurant, they may not be ideal for you because it's going to take dozens or maybe even hundreds, depending on the type of restaurant, of sales for them to make a profit off of your services. So what you want is someone who can charge, $1,000, $2,000, $5,000, $10,000 per sale or average customer value instead of somebody who's going to charge, $100 or $200 or $500. That's the first thing you want to look out for. And we're going to cover what some of these are in the upcoming slides, but I want to talk about that first. The next thing is you want them to have a good understanding of marketing. What I mean by that is some businesses, they just do not get that, or some industries, the businesses in them just do not get that they need to invest in marketing in order to grow their business. In fact, I know some of them that actually look at marketing as a desperation thing as opposed to the necessary lifeblood of their business, which it absolutely is. And that's the kind of business you just don't want to work with. And some industries, it's more common than others. Now I'm making general, sweeping statements. There's always going to be exceptions within each industry. However, that's something you're definitely going to want to consider when you're choosing your target niche or industry. And then the next thing is, and this one's not necessarily a requirement, but it's something that if you can find it in addition to the other things, then that's something you should consider too. And that's lower SEO competition. Sometimes you're going to find industries where the competition is so fierce, it's going to take a long time to be able to get them to an ROI, to a profit. And it's going to make your sales process that much more difficult in explaining to them why they should take it on. Again, that's not necessarily to say that you should run away from competitive industries, but it's an easier way to get your first client and to also kind of explain your value proposition to your prospective client. So let's look at some examples of different industries and different types of fields that meet at least one or two of these particular requirements. Now, you may find some that fit all three. You may find some that find none. That doesn't mean you shouldn't go after them, but we're going to try to keep things as simple as possible and target industries that have these three things. We're going to break the first one down, which is a high average sale or customer value. Some examples of this in the medical space are dentists. Dentists are great because they understand that they can get somebody in the door for a cleaning, which is, a couple $100, and then upsell them into braces, alignments, to coming back, to get a checkup, to root canal, whatever it is they need, and it's going to stack. They get the value and lifetime value of one client, and it becomes a very, very valuable thing to them. So one client or one patient, they would call it, is worth a lot of money to them. Same goes for a chiropractor who, if they have somebody come in once for a low amount, they're going to stay with them for a long time. And then there's other things that they can sell them as well. And then a plastic surgeon is a great example. Now, that obviously you can't really target things like heart surgeons, but plastic surgeon is an elective thing in most cases. And the people that are doing it are willing to lay out a lot of money, and plastic surgeons understand that, and they're going to be able to pay you to get that sort of business. In the business to business or B2B space, things you want to look at are attorney, particularly personal injury attorneys who, there may be a stereotype of them there, but it's true. They understand that they need to go out there and sell themselves. And there's a kind of a high return on an average customer. So, and the same goes for real estate. If somebody's selling $1 million home, they can afford to pay you $3,000 or $4,000 a month in order to make one sale. If they make one sale from you, that pays you off for the whole year. So that's another one to look at. Same kind of thing goes for insurance. Insurance, as we all know, is very expensive. So one customer, one sale is worth a lot to them. And insurance companies are used to having to go into the red in order to acquire a customer, because once a customer gets locked in, they tend to not change companies. And then in the service industry, and when I say service, I don't mean waiting, I mean home services and things like that. You have plumbers, it's kind of the same thing, that they realize that one sale is worth a lot to them, particularly if it's an emergency. So if a pipe bursts in your house, a plumber, you're going to call the first plumber that you see in Google. And plumbers understand that, and they're going to value your SEO services. And to them, that's an expensive job. That's what, $3,000-$4,000, depending on the damage, maybe more. Same goes for an electrician and roofing, or some other examples of home services industries where they have a high sale value, and they understand marketing. So, like I said, another thing you want to consider, and I kind of talked about it in the previous slide because these all kind of tie together, but I want to give you a bunch of examples. Another few industries that have a good understanding of marketing are wedding photographers. Wedding photographers, for whatever reason, they get that the visual side of it and getting traffic, and they just really seem to have a good grasp of marketing. This is one that has served me very, very well in my career. and they have a good understanding of marketing. And one wedding is, you know, $4, $5, $6,000. So it's a good a good niche to go after, a good industry to go after for a few reasons. Another one, and this is a bit outside the box, but this is web design agencies. Now, web design agencies are kind of similar to SEO, and a lot of them like to add SEO as an extra. But the truth is, most of them don't understand SEO at all, and they don't really even want to be bothered with it. So what you want to do is target them and kind of like what's called either white label or outsource or whatever you want to call it, their SEO. So they sell, you know, a $10,000 web design project, and you just do their SEO, maybe even just their link building, and you make a good profit, and you don't even really have to deal directly with the client. I've had great success targeting and partnering with web design agencies as part of my SEO. And like I said, they get marketing because, you know, they're marketing too. And same goes with attorneys. Again, I kind of touched on that on the last slide, personal injury in particular, but also things like divorce or, you know, fraud, things like that. They all understand that one client is worth a lot of money to them, and they're willing to invest and go into the red for it. You know, how do you know that? Just, you know, from looking at phone books and billboards and, you know, other things we're going to talk about in just a bit. You see attorneys advertising all over the place. That shows you that they get it. Then the next thing you want to look at is low SEO competition. Now, again, this one is kind of the most optional of the three, but it's still important to look at. So, for example, a heavy machinery rental, places that rent cranes or things like that, those are obviously high dollar clients that they get, but there isn't it's not something you need every day, so there's not a ton of SEOs targeting it. So you can probably sell them pretty easily because you can rank them easily, and the value of one lead pays you off big time. So pays off for them big time, I should say. So that's something that you can look into. And again, these are just examples. This is by no means a comprehensive list. I just wanted to give you a good idea of the different things that different industries you can look at. Another one is hurricane damage or hurricane damage repair. This one hits home for me because I live on the beach or near the beach, and you know, at least once a year we have a good hurricane and there's lots of damage, and businesses just flood into this area to help to take care of it. And I guarantee if you have a damaged house, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to look to Google for hurricane damage repair or hurricane damage insurance, you know, kind of combine different angles on it. So, and again, it only affects certain areas and at certain times of the year, so the competition isn't as fierce, but it's super important. So another one is landscape gardening. Doesn't sound like a lot, but those are really, very expensive. Businesses to do it. If you have a home and you retain someone to do that, you know what I'm talking about. But the thing is, it's another one that for whatever reason, a lot of SEOs just ignore. So the competition isn't great, and you can pick that off really quickly, show that value to your client, which is going to help this entire process that we're going to be talking about in the rest of this training. Okay, so now you have picked your niche, and now you need to figure out how to find leads for yourself or prospects for yourself in that niche. A few sources you can use are LinkedIn, yp.com, Yelp, and other directories like that. Maybe if there's an industry specific one for, let's say that your niche is attorneys or personal injury attorneys, maybe there's a directory of those that you can look at. And then Google itself, just pick your industry and pick a location that you want to target and do a search. So suppose you are in Kansas City and you want to look for personal injury attorneys. You Google personal injury attorney Kansas City and just go to page 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on and pick them. So that's another great source of leads. So let's talk about each of these separately. Okay, so the first one we're going to start with is LinkedIn. So you're going to come over to LinkedIn, and the first thing you want to do is optimize your profile so it's very specific on what you do and what industry you target. And you can see we're here on LinkedIn, and this is a friend of mine, Mandy. And what she does, she increases revenues for healthcare companies via high converting lead generation funnels. And then if you scroll down, you see different articles she's written and a lot of detail and a lot of work that's gone into making this specific to what she does, and more specifically to who she's looking, what industry she's in, and what niche she's looking to target and do for them. Now, she's not in the SEO space, so it's slightly different for her, but I wanted to show this because it's just very well laid out and it's very specific in the headline on what she does. So that's kind of the first part, is to optimize your profile in such a way that it's clear what your niche you're targeting and what you can do for them. The next thing you're going to want to do is look for business owners within your niche or industry. So the way you do that is you come up to search, and then you're going to go to people. And then what you want to do is come over here to all filters. And what I like to do is come over here and pick an industry. I've picked law practice. Now on the free level, you're not going to get to be able to drill free level of LinkedIn. You're not going to be able to drill down as far as you can on LinkedIn Sales Navigator. But then you want to come over here to title, and you want to put in something like owner. And then you want to put in a location for where you're searching. So let's say Dallas. And then you want to apply. So that's going to return you a list of people that are both the owner of they have their job title listed as owner anyway, and they work in the legal firm and they're in Dallas. So now you've already narrowed down and excluded a lot of people. The next thing you want to do is click on their profile and determine if they would be a good fit for what you're looking for. So looks like this is a bankruptcy attorney. So you can just kind of look over his profile and kind of get an idea if he'd be a good fit for SEO. Maybe go see if he ranks for anything. And then you could just send him a connection request or maybe even a message depending on his particular settings. So we're going to send him a message and say, and just say something like, nice to meet you. Just looking to connect with other business owners or something like that. And forgive my loud keyboard. I know that that's kind of annoying. And then you just put in the subject of whatever, just nice to meet you. And then you just click send. Now you'll notice that, and this is going to bring us to a part that the next part of our training, is that I'm not selling him anything right away. I'm just saying hi and building a relationship with him. So that's kind of how that works. You don't want to come out too aggressive because they get assaulted by SEOs all day long, but it gives you a good chance to start a conversation with them and work up to working with. Let's hop back over to our presentation and go at it from there. So we've gone through point number 1, how to optimize your profile for your niche. We talked about making connections and starting conversations. You can connect with all the people in the list that you get by searching for their connection level, their industry, and their job title and area. Then you just start conversations. You want to be very, very gradual with this. Start by saying, just nice to meet you, something like you would if you met someone in person. Then maybe in a week or 2, you follow up with, hey, I just found this article about websites and SEO and thought you might be interested in that. Now you want to build this out to be a little more formal, but we don't have a lot of time for that today. So I just want to give you an idea. And then you maybe offer them some free advice the next time. And then maybe you see if they'd be open to having a phone call with you. So there's a lot of different steps to that, but that's basically the pattern. Then you can use tools to speed this up, like Sales Navigator, which I just showed you, or you can use an automation tool called Duck's Soup, which will go through and connect with people that meet the criteria that you put in and send them messages. So you don't have to spend as much time on it as I just showed. So as you can imagine, doing what we just did manually to dozens of people a day could really take up a lot of time. So Duck Soup and other automation tools can help with that. And then you just want, like I said, you want to give value. You don't want to just come in blasting, hey, what I do is offer SEO for people in your industry and I can help you. Want to get on a call? That's going to turn them off. You need to put in the work, get to know them, build a relationship, give them some valuable information. And then if they're biting, then you can maybe set up a call with them to see if they're going to be a good fit for you to do SEO with. So LinkedIn's a great source of finding business owners in most any industry. So this is where I really recommend you start. The next place you can find prospects is from directories like yp.com, yelp.com, and other directories maybe that are industry specific or location specific to where you're looking to do business. So let's just jump over to the web browser once again, and I'll give you a little bit of a taste of an example of how you can find people quickly to get started. Okay, so we're over here at yp.com, and I know some people watching this are probably laughing because, it's Yellow Pages, it's old, it's all that stuff, but a lot of businesses are on here. So first let's put in our area, continue the example from before, and then go and we're going to find it. Now, there's two different things you can do here. The first is you can obviously just go down this list and start contacting all of these people, I keep saying people, all these businesses, because I'm used to thinking in terms of dealing with individuals, but I guess technically these are businesses or individuals. Anyhow, what you want to do is come down and you can make a list out of all these businesses and reach out to them, maybe do a little research to see if they need SEO or if you think they'd be the kind of business you want to work with. But the other source is this over here on the right. Now, what this is a list of people that are actually paying money to yp.com to advertise over here. And these are not cheap. These cost, depending on what level and what industry and area and things like that, these can cost thousands of dollars a month. And let me ask you, do you think that they're getting a return on that from their advertising? Probably not. So what you can do is contact them and say, I found you on yp.com. I also do SEO, and I think I can probably get you a better ROI on your advertising dollars than what you're getting over there. And then just kind of start that conversation with them and close them as an SEO client. I mean, the value proposition is so easy to explain. If they're spending thousands of dollars to be advertised here, they're probably not getting any views or clicks. And it just kind of sells itself at that point. Now, obviously, you have to be able to talk to them and be confident and things like that, but the pitch writes itself. So you have a built-in list right here, and you can do this in any city. Let's go something a little smaller. Same thing. So you have a built-in list of customers just waiting for you to offer them SEO because they obviously understand marketing because they're paying for it, but I guarantee you they're not getting an ROI on what they're spending. So yp.com, yelp.com, I'm not going to go over to Yelp because it's the same principle, but basically this is just a great source for you to get some leads to close SEO deals with. And then the other source that I want to talk about today is actually Google itself. Google itself, it's all sitting there right in front of you on businesses that need SEO because you can go and find for yourself who's already paying for AdWords, who's not in Google Maps, who's not even on page number 1. So let's hop over to Google and give you a quick example of how to go about that. So continuing our example of Dallas personal injury attorney. You come over here, the first thing you want to note is if there are any ads, any people running AdWords. So what you can do then is kind of open one of these. I just opened the Frankel Law Firm. And what we're going to do is use a tool called SpyFu. And you're going to come up to PPC research. And what you do is you come over and you paste in their URL, search. And this is going to show you not only what keywords they're working on or they're spending money on, but what kind of spend that they're making. And they're spending $13,000 a month on paid advertising on Google. So doesn't that tell you that they understand what advertising is worth and the value of getting traffic from Google? So let's jump back over and see if John Price Law Firm actually ranks for anything. So we're going to scroll real quick, and I'm only going to look on the first page, maybe the second page. So you can see he's not ranking on page 1. Or page 2. So he's spending $13,000 a month on that particular term, and he's not ranking organically. So what that tells you is that there's a huge opportunity there because he's already understands the value. So you can pitch that to him as you're spending $13,000 a month for a variety of terms. If we can rank you for those terms for say $3,000 a month, and then after you can turn off the traffic and it doesn't disappear. Once we get you ranked, we can keep you there, and you won't have to keep paying for hundreds of dollars a click or however much it costs. I'm sure it's very expensive for that term. So that's one angle you can take using Google to give you a source of leads of people that already understand marketing. They're already paying for marketing. They have a high return on investment from every client they get. And it's an easy angle. So you see it meets a lot of our criteria. The next thing you want to do is look at page 2 of Google. Page 2 through like 7 or so. And we kind of did this already, but you can see you can come up to, let's just jump to like page 3. Find, for example, Julie John's Law is on page 3. You just contact her and say that you are this close to getting part of 720 searches a month, which at $5,000 a client means that you're missing out on X. I can't do that math in my head, but that many potential people seeing your website per month. And if you just give us, X dollars per month, we'll get you there in 6 months. And that's kind of it. You can go through and just create like a spreadsheet or whatever kind of document, a Google Doc, and just put down all these sites that are on page 2 through 7 or 8. If they're back on page 10, it's not necessarily as great. And just put down, their email address and their phone number, and just email them or call them, and you'll be good to go. You'll be able to close 1 or 2 of those, and then the system is going to snowball for you from there. So that's kind of that. And then the last one is if they're ranking in Google Maps or not. So, for example, let's find Mullen and Mullen. You can smell their number 1. That's not a good example. So look at this one, the law firm of Aaron Herbert. He's ranking organically, but he's not up here in Google Maps. He's probably way down there somewhere. See, he's down here, number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So he's almost there, but he's not, and he's missing out on tons of phone calls and tons of business because of it. So that would be another angle you could take, is that you're already ranking organically, and that's great, but we can also get you into Google Maps and rank you there too. So maybe so much as double or triple if your business, or at least make it so where somebody else isn't getting seen. So that's another angle you can take with Google. So let's jump back over to our presentation now that we've built up a nice prospecting list and talk about contacting them. All right, so now we have our niche, our industry, and a whole big list of prospects we can reach out to. So now we just the last thing we have to do to get our first client and then kind of start snowballing this is just reach out to them. Most of the work is already done for you. You know the angle you're going to take because you've researched them and researched your industry. You've built up a nice list of people that need SEO along with their reason for needing it, whether it was they're advertising on YP, they're not ranking on Google, or you found them on LinkedIn. So now all you have to do is you can literally show up in person at their business and talk to them. Although personally, I prefer to at least give some warning before just rolling up into their business, but it absolutely does work if you handle it right. You can do some phone calls. Now, I know that some of you are afraid to do cold calling, and I get it, but it absolutely works. It's one of the highest converting methods you can do. And since you've prospected well, it's not like you're just doing a numbers game. All you have to do is get a hold of the right person and get them on the phone. You can do cold emailing. That's a favorite of mine, to be honest. You can write a nice email sequence and kind of send them information similar to what we did on LinkedIn, but except in email. And if you prefer, you can just go to business events like Chambers of Commerce meeting and stuff like that, and just kind of meet them there or talk to other people there that you didn't find online and kind of use that as your avenue to get it. A lot of people think this is the hardest part, but really everything we've done up till now is the hard part, and you just have to go in and close them by offering them what you already know that you can do and already know what they need. So that's kind of it. You go through the prospecting, you go through these methods to get them, and you can get them and close them on your first client or on your first sale. And congratulations, you have now signed your very first client. Now, we're not necessarily talking about how to sign up our first client, though. That's the biggest hurdle. But what we really want to do is grow and turn this into a full-time business that doesn't take up our entire life doing everything. So now what we want to do is that we have one client, we want to do a great job for them and basically fulfill them and get them what you promised them you would do. And you can always outsource the fulfillment of that if you have to, because you don't want to spend a lot of time, building links and writing content and optimizing H tags and all this other stuff that goes into into SEO. You want to spend your time growing your business. So you want to outsource fulfillment to something like Legit or a nice white label provider. And then you just want to focus on scaling. And the way that you're going to do that is once you've done a good job for that client and built up some rapport with them, you're going to ask them in exchange for you continuing to work on their SEO for maybe a reduced price or free for a couple of months or whatever offer you find that works well. What works well for me is working on them 6 months, getting them results, and then offering them another 6 months at an extremely reduced rate or even for free in exchange for referring 2 more clients to you. So then what happens is instead of having one $2,000 a month client or $3,000 a month client, you now have 3, because business owners know other business owners. So basically you're going to take them. They already like you. You've already gotten them results. You've already done a good job for them. So now all you have to do is continue a good job for them in exchange for them sending you some more business. When you do go into selling SEO, you're going to hear one question a lot, and that is, do we have to do this forever? This gives you a good chance to close that initial sale and put it in their mind that later they're going to become your salesperson. So they say, what happens after 6 months? Do we have to keep doing this forever? And you can say something like, it does require some ongoing maintenance, but I realize that you want to eventually recoup your costs. So what we can do after 6 months, after I get you to page 1, get you to number 1, get you in Google Maps, is you can send me 2 other clients that will sign up with me, and I can get them the same results I've gotten you. And I'll keep working on your SEO for another 6 months at a reduced rate or free or whatever you're comfortable offering. So it kind of all gels together and gives you an opportunity. So I know some of us are visual learners, and we learn better when we can see something. So I'm going to go ahead and lay that out for you visually. The whole process of getting to 100K a month via this model. So first you're going to prospect a niche, find out if it fits the criteria that we met, including medium to low competition. In business owners that understand marketing and have the budget for it and will get a huge ROI on their spend. Then you're going to sign your first client, and you're going to get them results, whether you do it yourself or whether you outsource to a white label provider or Legit or somebody else. Then you're going to get them to refer other people to you after you've done a great job for them. And then you're going to assign those referrals and kind of repeat the process. And from there, it just kind of stacks. So for example, you sign that one client, they refer that one $2,000 a month. And by the way, 2,000 is just a number I picked because the math is easy. A lot of times you're going to sign clients that are more than that, 3,000, 5,000 a month. You may get some that are lower than that, 500 to 1,000 a month. I actually don't recommend you go any lower than 1,000 per month, but that's just for the sake of numbers. We'll assume they're all 2,000. You get that first client for $2,000 a month. They then refer you 2 more clients. You now have $6,000 a month. Those 2 clients refer you 4 clients, because that's 2 clients referring 2 clients. You now at 14,000. 4 to 8 puts you at 30, and then 8 to 16, it goes up to 92, and on and on and on. This just stacks one on top of the other, and it just keeps growing to the point you get it to wherever you want, and then you can just kind of stop, or you can kind of build your own list, or just kind of let it go all on autopilot. So that's kind of the process, right? You go through, you pick a niche, you prospect it, make sure it fits all of our criteria. You build up a prospect list, You sign them, whether it's phone calls, emails, in person at their business, in person elsewhere, or even writing them, kind of a hard letter or whatever method you want to use to go out and sign them. And then you do a great job for them. You can outsource the work if you don't want to spend time on that and you want to spend time on getting more clients. And then you just kind of let them work for you by referring you more business in exchange for continuing to get them results. And so basically, congratulations, you now have a full-time SEO consulting agency. So let's do a quick recap of what we learned today. We went over choosing a niche and finding the right type of niche with the right requirements to scale your SEO agency in. We went through how to build up a list of prospects in that niche that are ready for you to sell them their SEO. We talked about closing the deal with them and outsourcing the work, and how you can get your first client so you can get your agency started. And then you can turn that client and all your subsequent clients into your personal sales force, referring you more clients and growing your agency and stacking them on top of one another so you can continue to scale your agency and actually work even less than you do now. So basically, you're going to pick your niche, you're going to prospect it, you're going to close your first sale, you're going to do a good job, whether you outsource the fulfillment or do it yourself. You're going to ask those people to refer you more people and churn those people into your sales force and go on and on and on from there. And all of this while you're actually reducing the number of hours you work every day and every month. And that's what people like Ian did, and how they signed their 3 new clients in one day, and so on. Like I said, broken down, all it is this: prospect, sign a client, get them results, get them to refer other people, sign those referrals, and just repeat the process over and over again, continuing to increase your amount you're making while working less hours than you currently are, and so on. Once you get that done, you'll be like Cody here, signing the dental clients, James getting the $10,000 a month clients, and just doing taking your SEO agency to the heights you've always dreamed of and always knew it was possible, but just did not quite have the roadmap to get there. So literally, the only thing standing between you and having a steady stream of high-paying clients is the right system and the right person guiding you to get you there. So what now? Over the course of the last 45 minutes or so, I kind of walked you through one system that I've used repeatedly to get SEO client after SEO client. And it's a great information, and I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope you can take that information and apply it yourself. But you might also be feeling a little bit overwhelmed and feel like you need someone to kind of help guide you and work directly one-on-one with you to implement this strategy and other strategies to grow your SEO agency to $100,000 a month, or whatever your long-term goal is. And maybe you need some help with it. Maybe you need someone who's been there and done it and can work with you one-on-one to do that, to help you get to that point. So what I'm doing is I'm taking on a few people to work with individually on a one-on-one basis to help them grow their SEO agency the way I've grown mine, the way so many people I've worked with have grown theirs. Now, I don't have a lot of time. I'm running multiple businesses, but I am willing to take on a few people to work one-on-one with. But before we get to that, what I want to tell you first is this is not for everyone. Not every business is ready for this. Not every person has the investment capital to put into this. Not everyone is going to do the work to go out there and build a prospecting list of a specific niche and get the people in, and then do the work to get them results and continue to scale from there. Not everybody is in a position to do that just yet, and that's okay. But I only want to work with people who I know I can help get results quickly. If that's not you, that's okay. It may be somewhere down the road, but for now, I'm looking to work with a very particular type of person. And that's why it's not for sale to the general public. I'm only offering this through this video, this web class, whatever you want to call it. And you can't go to my website and buy it. You can't call my office and buy it. You can't get this anywhere else. I'm screening people to make sure that I get the right type of people that I want to work with and that I can help, because that's who will benefit from it the most. So this is why it's only being offered in this way to this particular group of people. That's why I want to set up a call with you to see if we're going to be a good fit, because the number one criteria that I have for working with someone one-on-one and coaching them and helping them implement this system to expand their business is to make sure I'm able to make it work for them. I'd be doing a disservice to that person if they weren't in a position where I could help them. So we need to just talk to you for a little bit, for a few minutes, to make sure that you're going to be a good fit and make sure that you're somebody that we can help, whose business we can help scale. And this isn't going to be just another online course where you sign up and you're given a whole list of videos and no help or anything like that. What you're going to be doing is working directly with me one-on-one, where I'm going to take you by the hand and show you live how to sign your next client and start scaling your business. We'll go over your business together personally and see what's not working, what is working, and what you can do to get it up to that next level that you know you want to get it to. And we're going to start working on that the very first week you sign up. So this is, like I said, this is not just another, pay $9.97 for a list of videos that doesn't do you any good. This is you working directly with me one-on-one, helping, coaching, and consulting you to get your business to the level that you want to get it to. Once we've gone through your business and found the areas of opportunity and improved them and started getting you some clients coming in, what we're going to do then is going to go over ways to outsource the work and so you can focus on generating even more clients and growing your business and not having to worry about actually handling the work and doing it yourself. So like I said, we're going to audit your business. We're going to figure out what's not working. We're going to fix it. And then we're going to scale. And then we're going to find ways to handle the work outside of you so that you can focus on growing your business or just enjoying more of your time. So if you put in the work after working with me, you will have a thriving business. You'll have a client referral network out there doing your sales and closing new clients for you because you've done such a great job for them that they're happy to go out there and refer other clients to you. You'll have a way to get the work done for you so you're not spending all your time building links and writing content and doing the physical labor of fulfillment, and you'll be able to focus on growing your business and living your life the way you do. And if you follow all these directions and we work together, you'll have the potential to have a 100K plus per month agency running on virtual autopilot. And the only condition or catch or whatever you want to call it is that we have to talk to you and understand your business and believe that you're ready to make this work for you and that it's a good fit for you at this time, because my time is very limited. I can only work with a handful of people, so I want to work with people who I know can put in the work and, more importantly, who I know are committed to growing their business to the level that they deserve for it to be at. So if you think this is for you and you want to be able to work directly with me on growing your SEO business and agency, all you have to do is take about 15-20 minutes to schedule a call with a member of my staff. They're going to ask you a few basic questions about you and your business to see if you're ready to take it up to the next level, being coached and consulted by someone who's been there and has done it and is committed to making sure that you succeed just the same way. So click the link below this video or that you see there, chrismwalker.io/apply. Schedule a time to have a phone call with a member of my staff. They're going to ask you a few questions about yourself and your business to see if we're going to be a good fit, that if I'm going to be able to help you, and that if you're going to be interested in working with me to grow and scale your business up to the next level, the way that got people like Cody here, who signed a bunch of dental clients. We got James, who with his 10K client, Ian, who signed 3 clients in one day, and all these other folks that have had so much success being coached and working with someone that's been there and done it before. So if that's you, go ahead and click the link below this video, or as you see linked right here, chrismwalker.io/apply. Schedule a time to meet with get a phone call with a member of my team who's going to figure out if you're a good fit for me and I'm a good fit for you. And if we are, I'll be so excited to work with you. And even if you find that this is not a great fit for you at the moment, I hope you got something out of this video. I hope the training helped you, and I hope that whatever it is you want out of life, that you're able to go out there and get it, because you absolutely deserve it and you owe it to the world. So if this is you, I hope to be talking to you soon. If not, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks a lot and have a good one.